U.S. employers announced over 71,000 job cuts in November, according to Challenger & Gray. Now, that's down 53% from October, but it's 24% higher than November of 2024. Guys, that brings the 2025 year-to-date total to over 1.1 million layoffs. That's 54% higher than 2024. And those are the worst numbers since the pandemic. Remember that time when you couldn't go to church, school, you couldn't even walk inside of a Walmart or go to the beach. Pretty bad stuff. And please believe that AI is making a major impact on this job market. And it's only going to get worse, guys. AI is only going to replace more and more jobs. And we'll get into that in a moment. Also, if you stick around to the end, I have a prompt that's going to set you up on the right path. Secret prompt. You gotta stick around to the end though. I'll give it to you. In the meantime, we're going to talk about which industries are most at risk. If you're in one of these industries, you need to be paying attention because companies are announcing and accomplishing layoffs in these industries. And of course, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel because 6 days a week, I'm bringing you the freshest, most important stories you need to know to stay relevant, respected, and financially free. Guys, our wives, our families, our kids, they rely on us. We got to step up. We got to step up, and now is the time. So, who is at risk? Which industries are most at risk? Well, let's look at the data. Follow the data. So, according to Challenger & Gray, here are the November layoff hiring highlights. So, telecommunications comes in at top with over 15,000 layoff announcements. And one of the big contributors to this is Verizon. Verizon is basically restructuring and changing the way that they operate. A lot of the Verizon stores that you go to now are going to be owned by more of a franchise style. You got to check out this video. I think you'll find this video very interesting on what Verizon is doing and how that is going to completely change the way that employment works within the organization. Check out that video here. We covered that. Tech announced 12,000. Food, 6,700 layoffs announced, which quite frankly is not a surprise. Guys, the cost of food at fast food and restaurants is out of control. It is out of control. We recorded a video on this a few weeks ago. I'll post a link to it here about Chipotle. Chipotle stock is down 45% year over this year. And why is that? Guys, because nobody wants to pay $25 for a burrito and a soda. They don't want to do it, and people are not going back to Chipotle. This is happening across the board. I was watching a video the other day, and this is Disneyland, so everything is expensive at Disneyland, but this guy goes to Disneyland, it was $100 for a 16-inch pepperoni pizza and 2 sodas. Again, that's Disneyland. The point remains that the cost of eating out is immense. I don't know about you and your family, but my family, about a month and a half ago, said, we're not going to be eating out as much. We're going to eat out twice a week, Friday nights and Sunday after church. We're going to go out and we'll get food as a family. And we've held true to that. There have been times where we wanted to go out, but we didn't. Why? Because eating out is freaking ridiculous right now. And the companies know it, and they are laying off people and they're restructuring. And that is happening. And the numbers are there. Services, so cleaning, staffing, kind of like corporate support services had 5,500 announced layoffs. Retail 3,200. Same problem. Target has not been doing super duper well. So, gosh, man, it's not a great time. It's just not a great time. And again, AI does play a big role in all this. We'll get to that in just a moment. So, why? The time has come. Why are these cuts happening? So, restructuring was the most common reason for job cuts in November. Specific examples include Citigroup, Intel, UPS, GM. 20,000 of the job firing announcements were related to restructuring. Economic and market conditions, just over 15,000, 15,700 jobs fall into that. Tariffs, market conditions, inflation, that's the type of stuff that obviously can lead to layoffs. And then AI comes in number 3 with 6,200. So there were 6,200 people fired last month, or on the chopping block. They're next on the block right now. 6,200 people that were specifically announced by companies said, we're going to use AI instead of you. And we've covered this time and time and time again. And I think what people don't understand about this AI, whether you call it a threat or an opportunity, it's going to change the job market. But what people don't understand is that it's going to be slow and then it's going to be rapid over certain industries. I was listening to a podcast this past week with Jensen Huang on Joe Rogan, and he seems to think it's going to be a much more slow, much more gradual, jobs will come, jobs will go. And I think there is some truth to that. But I also believe that there are going to be some really rapid changes really quickly. And I've talked about, I think self-driving cars is the easiest to understand. Once the data is out and once people really understand that it's actually much safer to be in a self-driving vehicle than it is to have people driving by themselves, you're gonna see massive amounts of people that are making their money driving, not making their money driving anymore. They're gonna need to find something new. And what are they gonna do? Well, you gotta figure that out for yourself, boys. We'll get to that in a moment, but the bottom line is that companies are firing people. They're announcing layoffs en masse. The numbers are not great. And AI is increasingly becoming more and more important. I want to just actually take a look here at hiring plans, because the hiring plans that were announced by companies this year in 2025 are at this point just under 500,000, which is 35% down from last year. So last year to this year, lots of people, the hiring plans are down. Now, granted, the federal government, they went through DOGE, they laid a bunch of people off. They're certainly slowing down hiring, but this is happening across the board. Companies are not hiring. They're laying off people, they're streamlining, they're using AI, and they are not hiring on new people. That is happening. Another reason why I think AI is so important, guys, is you look at the job postings. Get this, this number is staggering. I got this from Forbes. Job postings requiring AI skills grew nearly 7-fold from 2024 to 2025. It rose from about 0.87% of high-paying jobs, increasing to 5.7% of jobs. So here's the deal. You want to get a six-figure job, you want to get a six-figure salary, AI is a mandatory requirement. You are not going to get hired if you don't have at least some knowledge of how AI can impact your results, can impact your efficiency. It is now mandatory, guys. You want a high-paying job, AI is required. You want to run a business, AI is required because it's going to make you more efficient. I'm going to share a link to this video I shared a few weeks ago, and it's in regards to AI replacing auto mechanics. And it was a little bit clickbaity, I'll admit it. AI is not necessarily replacing mechanics, but what it is doing is it's empowering mechanics and it's replacing all the people around them. And in this video, I break down basically a conversation I had with a friend of mine who runs a regional sector of a very large auto mechanic company. And he had noted that they're using AI as a phone answering service. It's booking 15 to 20% of their calls. They're using AI to write proposals and send out proposals to customers. They are using AI to help diagnose problems in vehicles. They're using AI for an immense amount of purposes. And the reality is that this is happening everywhere. If you're not using these tools, if you're not testing these tools, if you don't have any numbers to back up what you're doing, you're gonna be left behind. You're gonna be left behind, guys. I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna be left behind if you're not adjusting now. This is the way I feel. This is the way that I feel like people don't see it. Do you ever feel that way? You're like, guys, I just want to shake people. Guys, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of jobs are going to be displaced over the next 5 years. AI and robotics are going to change everything, and you're sleeping on it. You're watching Sean Diddy Combs on Netflix instead of taking 30 minutes to read a book or test out new software. Oh gosh, and I get it. The problem here, guys, is, we are creatures of habit. And what most people are doing right now is they're saying, well, this is what's worked in the past. This is what's going to continue to work. When it's obviously not true. You look at what's happening in the university system. We covered this just yesterday. Like an ungodly amount. Your average ordinary 4-year university, kids getting master's degrees and bachelor's degrees, 20 to 30% of them are claiming that they're learning disabled. Dude, you're in a university system, you're in college, you're trying to get an award from a prestigious college like Harvard, but 20% of you guys over at Harvard are educationally, intellectually disabled? What are we doing? It's unbelievable. And so like all these ideas are on the chopping block as far as the way that university systems work, the way that customer service works, the way that HR works. It's all going to change over the next 5 years. And you can either get on the bus and move with it, or you can get left behind. So how do you keep up? That is the big question. And guys, if you're still here, thanks for liking, subscribing. Definitely sign up for my newsletter. It's completely free, aiupdate.ai. It's completely free, guys, aiupdate.ai. All I want is to see men like you and me remain relevant, respected, and financially free, because it's about to get nasty, guys. And understanding how AI and this new technology works is imperative, guys. It's imperative. We're going through the largest revolution in the history of mankind. It's happening right now. In 1,000 years, people are gonna look back and be like, wow, the 2020s were nuts. They changed the world. Guys, it's happening right now. Sign up for the newsletter, completely free. You're gonna get backstage pass to what I'm working on, what I'm thinking about, and what thousands of other guys like you are thinking about. Get over there. You've been patient, you're here. Thank you. Let's hit a few steps to remain relevant, a few steps that you can take today. And guys, one of the things that's really important to me is that myself and all the viewers are actually using these AI tools. We're not afraid of them. We're not scared of them. We're actually using them, because the genie is not going back in the bottle. You're gonna need to learn this stuff. And so my challenge today for you, as soon as the video is over or right now, whatever you gotta do, pop open ChatGPT. I'm gonna give you a prompt, okay? I'm gonna give you a prompt because, I don't know your exact circumstances. I don't know your exact situation, but I can give you a key prompt that's gonna really get you started in the right direction, okay? Here's what it is. You're gonna open up ChatGPT. You might even use voice. I like having conversations with ChatGPT. Pop open voice and have a conversation, but here's what you're gonna say. You say, I'm in industry X, whatever your industry is. My company specializes in solving problem Y for customers. What's the big problem that your company solves? My job role is Z, whether you're a CEO or a receptionist, whatever it is, okay? My job role is Z. What is my career outlook in the short term and long term? What threats are there to my financial outlook? How is AI impacting my industry and job role? What are some AI tools I could test in my industry to stay relevant? I'm gonna actually put this entire prompt down below so you can copy and paste it. Just fill in the specifics about your industry, your job, your customer. Everything else is there to give you what you need. So, long story short, the job market's not looking great. I'm on the lookout for the BLS report when the federal government drops the jobs report. We'll see. But regardless, as you can see from independent studies like Challenger and Gray, companies are increasing the amount that they're laying off. That I do not expect that to slow down. Hiring freezes are in place. I don't necessarily see that unlocking. What is going to happen over the course of the next 6 to 12 months is companies are going to aggressively look to apply AI to streamline operations and increase efficiency. You may like it, you may dislike it. I think there's pros and cons, okay? But that is going to happen. And if you're not prepared, you will be left behind. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for your family, for your kids, your community. They need you guys. So step up, take the action. I know you've got it in you, man. You've got it in you. All right, listen, boys, I got another meeting. I'll see you in the next video. If you enjoy this video, check out yesterday's video where we talk about the insanity that's happening at Harvard, at Brown, at Berkeley. What is going on? You got to check out the video. It's nuts. Education is effed. See you guys. Peace.